friends, today we are going to learn the first unit of English. It is regarding Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest figure in the history of South Africa as well as the world, as we have the greatest figure in the form of the Gandhiji. And the title is Long Walk to the Freedom. As we know that Africa was a slave country for a long time, but because of Nelson Mandela, whatever the discrimination regarding the slavery was totally diminished. Now we shall go for to know what actually Nelson Mandela is. Nelson Mandela was in the prison for more than 27 years. Actually, he had fought for the apartheid. Now the question is, what actually the apartheid? Apartheid is a racial discrimination. What actually the racial discrimination? Because there was a discriminated on the basis of white and black. Because if your skin color is white, definitely you will get so many benefits, you will get so many advantages. But if you are black, definitely you will be deprived of the so many things and advantages. And that is why against this type of the discrimination, Nelson Mandela played an important role. Like Gandhiji, he had spent his important years, more than 27 years, his youth in prison. Now we shall learn, and that is why he has been considered as the father of the nation in South Africa, as we have Gandhiji, the father of nation in India. Now Nelson Mandela. We shall start. It was the 10th May. 10th May, that was an important day for the South Africa. And because on this particular day there was a freedom from the slavery, from the discrimination, from the deprived of the rights. That is why so many dignities of the international level, like leaders, had arrived there, had gathered there. Inauguration ceremony was started, and the place of Union Building in Pretoria, and there was going to be governed by the special black government first time. So there was no any racial discrimination. Nelson Mandela gave speech for the victory of the freedom, because freedom was most important thing for them. Now we shall go for actually what Mandela pleaded to liberate his people from poverty, suffering and the discrimination. According to him, the main foe was suffering, poverty and the discrimination. That is why we should get the liberty from all of these things. And thereafter the ceremony begins. A colorful show by the jets and helicopters to show military loyalty took place. Thereafter there was the national anthem, as generally happened in each and every ceremony. Like we have Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jai Hai, that is the national anthem of India. The same national anthem note, like in Africa, first was the old national anthem for the white people, Nkosi Sikel, and thereafter the new Die Stem, that was for the black people, was also being sung. So there were two national anthems. Thereafter, a new system that had recognized the rights and the freedom of all the people was formed. Until now, there was no any such type of the right. Even the people, black people especially, were deprived of the rights, especially of the freedom. So Mandela remembered and thanked the people which sacrificed their lives for the freedom. Especially, he had given the salutation to the so many freedom fighters he also remembered and recollected, like Oliver Tebu, Walter Sisulu, Chiche Lusul, Yusuf Dadu, and etc. Thereafter, Mandela said in his speech, a country can be rich because of its people, not because of the minerals. Nowadays, the scenario is totally changed. People are going to consider the people on the basis of only and only minerals. But freedom, there is no bar at all. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. We should have courage. We should become the victorious over the fear, because courage does not mean there is an absence of the fear. Thereafter, he had given, we should love each and every people on the basis of the humanity. We should not hate any people on the basis of the color, religion. Love comes naturally, not by the force. That is why he had already stated regarding the natural goodness. And a man should try to make balance between his duties. He should fulfill his family duty first. Thereafter, he should not restricted and he should not become selfish regarding his duty only to family, but he should give his duty to the community. Thereafter, his country. A black person must be treated not badly. He should be allowed to perform each and everything. So such type of the message Nelson Mandela had given. According to Mandela, freedom has many aspects. Like for a kid, what actually the freedom is? For the kid, the freedom is to run, to play, but scenario will be changed, criteria will be changed. For the adult, it is to fulfill the need of his own and his family. But the real freedom means equal right for each and every one. There must be no any discrimination regarding the races, color, religion, creed, status, everything. That is why he joined the African National Congress, ANC, and he desired for people to live with the dignity, because he wanted that oppressor must not oppress any people on the basis of the racial things. That is why, because when any oppressor is going to oppress anyone, he will also be oppressed himself, because there is a big factor of the prejudice that will play an important role. That is why he will also suffer of the suffering, like he on the people who are going to be oppressed. That is why oppressors should learn such type of the things. So in the end, Nelson Mandela also played an important role, and because of his efforts, because of his endeavors, Africa became really liberated. Otherwise, most of the countries had already broken the relation with the South Africa. And that is why this is a autobiography of the Nelson Mandela. Thank you very much.